Something has changed, Geralt. The world's acting strange these days. The North and South at war. Monsters roaming when they should be hibernating.
Hi, I'm Leo from CNN Brazil. It's a pleasure to talk to you, Freya. And I would like to start by asking you this. The Witcher has a legion of fans all around the world. So how did you deal with this certain pressure of being cast in this huge part, being so young?
Yeah, I think when I got the role, it was just I think I was just so excited about everything. There wasn't too much time to think about external pressure. I think I had pressure for myself because I wanted to be able to do a certain thing. So I gave myself a lot of pressure, but I feel like it was less so about kind of the rest of the world. And also when I went and filmed season 1, I had my mum with me, which sort of brings you back to earth and makes you not feel like it's the end of the world doing all, the job that you do. So yeah, it was important to have that as well.
All right, and how did you prepare psychologically as an actress to play Ciri, since she goes through so much throughout the series?
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, you often just kind of like discover so much there on the day, in the moment when you are there. Literally, the camera is rolling and you're in the scene, and then you're finding things. And I think that's the best moments, when you find things unexpectedly. So I receive the scripts. I make sure that I know where I am, literally like within the timeline, because obviously we don't shoot in consecutive order. And from playing her in season 1, I know what it's like to be in her body already, so it's kind of more just confronting what she's got to face and processing everything that she'd be thinking about with regards to what she's experienced and what she's experiencing season 2. It was, I don't like to overthink things beforehand, because I think then your instincts aren't it's not as real, because your instincts, I like to trust in my instincts on the day. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I did.
Nice. And in this season, we get to see Ciri facing bigger challenges. What was it like to incorporate more action, like more physicality to your role? Like how was this? How did you prepare to this?
Oh, it was so much fun, and I got completely like obsessed with it. I'm literally like, if you want to know how I was training, it was pretty much identical to Ciri. Like I wanted to do more than I was given. I wanted to like perfect it. There were moments of frustration because I'm a perfectionist, and but yeah, I always wanted to be doing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next, like the most keep making it harder and keep challenging myself. So yeah, it was very easy to tap into that for Ciri, because she's pretty much the same in regards to that.
That's my home, my fight.
First, my question is, what can the audience expect from these two new characters you're both playing? Kim, you can start, please.
What they can expect to follow, Geralt is coming back home to Kaer Morhen, and he actually needs to be close to my character Vesemir. He's screaming for him for season 1. He needs some peacefulness. He needs some understanding of what's the journey he is on, and why he's bringing Ciri, and what the power she is, and he needs the home to do that. So we can expect his father figure to try to help him in that journey, and that's tough, because kids never do what you say. So but that's a challenge for Vesemir. It's a family story this year. It's about a lot of emotionally stuff, so you can expect a lot of more insight of all characters' emotionally stuff. So that's incredible.
How about you?
Well, on Geralt and Ciri's way to Kaer Morhen, they stopped by a mansion where an old friend of him lived. When they last met, he looked like a Christopher Hivju without a beard. When he arrives, he looks like a boar meets bear meets human. So he has changed a bit, put on some weight, some hair, some some fangs, some, you know. And so they stay there for the night and try to catch up, but there's a lot of secrets in the air, and that will kick off the first action sequence of the show.
Kim, how did you feel to be cast into this huge fantasy world and to be a part of a world that has so many fans all around the world?
I really didn't know what to expect there, but I went down to, we had a comic festival, fantasy festival in Lucca, Italy, and then it was incredible, lovely. I mean, everybody loves to join The Witcher, and everybody's so peaceful with it. So it's a very good atmosphere. It's a lovely family to join. I didn't know it was so huge in the world, but it really feels like we have now a family all over the world. The Witcher family here on set is incredible. I mean, all of them really are digging into what the novel is, what the games are, what the new vision of Lauren, showrunner. So everybody's so addicted to that world, so creative, you know. So it's really lovely. It's really lovely for me to join that.
This continent was meant for no one. None of us will have any peace.
First of all, to start, I would like to know what can the audience expect from two powerful mages like you in this second season?
God, two of us together. It's no, it's very exciting. I'm so glad that me and Mimi got to work together this season. There's kind of a lot more. We delve deeper into these characters. They both go off on their individual journeys, but they get that time to really kind of reconnect this season, which it informs a lot of where they're headed, actually.
How do you both feel entering in this world where you're both women, and it's so important to have like powerful women like this? What does it feel to you guys to be in this world? Anya, you can go first.
I'm just really excited that fantasy is going in this direction. In previous fantasy series, or kind of the fantasy genre is usually a male-dominated genre, or rather led by men. So it's really lovely to get a script that really plays to the complexity of kind of every human being, and especially for me and Mimi and Anna and Freya and Mariana, all those incredible women in the Witcher. We just get a chance to expose so much of these characters.
I second that, and I think also we can't forget that the captain of our ship is Lauren, and Lauren is an incredible leader, and her energy and her desire for the show. And her commitment to the show trickles down. It completely trickles down. So you can't go on to set without that being in your bloodstream. And it gives you this sense of confidence, because Lauren not only champions the work that we're doing in the studio that day, but also our growth as human beings.
You're a pawn to get to it.
Rebuild our forces, strengthen our numbers. We are an empire. The war's just begun.
I would like to start by asking you this. Going into this fantasy world, which has been, for most of the time, male dominant, how was your approach to do it different this time, since we have so much female characters that are powerful in this?
You know, I mean, really, I take my direction from the books, and I was lucky to be adapting a series where there are so many powerful and strong and imperfect women in the books as well. They're not confined to a single role. They don't always have to be perfect, nor do they always have to be, weak and incapable of doing things. They're really fleshed out characters. And the only thing that I did slightly different in the series when I was adapting it was to make sure that not just are they characters with a lot of layers and levels, the same as their male counterparts, but they also got an equal level of story. I think oftentimes what happens is you have a show that has a male protagonist, and the sense is that all of the women in the show have to be introduced through him. And that is why the first season took a different direction. And we met Yennefer on her own. We met Ciri on her own. We met Geralt on his own. And we allowed them all to be these fully fleshed out characters that were rounded and had interesting quirks to them. And what that gave me was when they started to meet each other and intersect, there were really surprising results because they each were entering into those scenarios with their own agendas and motivations and journeys, histories, all of those things. So I think that's the only thing I did differently. And I don't think that necessarily even came from being a woman per se. It came from just being someone who wanted to make sure that all of my characters were equally great.
And although today it seems like the perfect choice was Henry to be Geralt, how was the process of casting him into this role?
It was an amazing process and a funny process because he contacted Netflix at the very beginning. As soon as he heard that we were adapting this series, his team reached out and said, Henry loves the Witcher video games. He wants to be a part of this. And Netflix said to me, please sit down with him. And I thought, I will, I'm happy to meet him, but I don't have any scripts. I have nothing to talk about except for, his passion for this character. At the time, he didn't know that the video games were based on books. So that's one of the things that we talked about. And he went away and read all of the books. And by the time that we got around to casting Geralt and going through that casting process, I really had his voice in my head. And I think, the choice was absolutely right. He embodies this character so beautifully.
Are you sure you're ready for this?
Welcome back.